side of the internet thinks going through someone's old MySpace account makes them part of the resistance. It doesn't. It makes you a Colonel Alexander Vindman exposing the Ukraine fiasco. Noble. That's not you taking down the host of the Ice Capades. You're a loser with Wi-Fi and all the time in the world to listen to long-forgotten podcasts. You're not a journalist. You're just a creepy little rat. Go to Texas and catch a runaway embryo.
He's back, fiercer than ever, taking on the cult of woke ideology with unrelenting fire. His latest battle targets the self-proclaimed guardians of virtue, those who scour ancient social media posts like relentless treasure hunters, eager to destroy lives over a tasteless quip from 2012. His takedown is razor-sharp, exposing the hypocrisy, manufactured rage, and twisted satisfaction these digital vigilantes find in public shaming. Get ready. This is going to hit hard.
It's not a bad thing. Oh, it used to be. Used to be one of the first things we taught children. Nobody likes a tattletale. But now, virtually any public accomplishment comes with the obligatory follow-up snitch story a few days later. Like what happened with that sad schmuck who was supposed to host Jeopardy. But fortunately, the honor of game shows was preserved when Squeal Team 6 went through his old podcast and found out he once used the term whatever the that.
When someone who despises you turns into an obsessive online sleuth, digging through your digital past to unearth an offensive tweet from years ago, it's no longer about justice. It's a cruel game. This witch hunt has become a cultural obsession, especially among the sanctimonious woke crowd, driven not by fairness, but by a thirst for control, humiliation, and moral grandstanding. The toxicity is so intense that everyone's treading carefully, afraid of their next misstep. He calls it out for what it is: blatant hypocrisy cloaked in righteous posturing. Brace yourself. His words are about to burn.
We, the perfect people who have never made a mistake, we just can't let society be sullied by horrible people like you. Bye-bye. Fans of cable news will recognize the rising journalist Alexi McCammond, who was appointed editor of Teen Vogue, but then had to resign before her first day when some of her high school tweets suddenly became too much to bear. Tweets like, "Now Googling how to not wake up with swollen Asian eyes," and, "You're so gay."
It's absurd. People lose everything over harmless old tweets, like silly jokes or teenage rants no reasonable person would care about. Yet the mob twists them into evidence of moral failure, hunting relentlessly for their next target with digital torches raised. They ignore context, intent, or the passage of time, warping words to fuel their fury. It's not about accountability anymore. It's about destruction. They don't want apologies. They want to ruin lives. Her resignation, backed by this ruthless crowd, proves just how far this madness has gone.
Was endorsed by the hierarchy of the magazine, including the senior social media manager, Christine Davitt. Oh no, you just ruined someone's career for no reason. Same diff. Funny end to the story, after Alexi McCammond resigned for her innocuous tweets, someone went through Christine Davitt's old high school tweets and, oops. Seems she tweeted the N-word twice to a white friend in 2009.
This is the hypocrisy he's shredding apart. The self-righteous who spend hours combing through old posts are often the guiltiest of all. Their own timelines hide similar mistakes, cringeworthy jokes, bad takes, or embarrassing views they hope stay buried. His point is brutally clear. If everyone's past was judged this harshly, no one would escape. These digital crusaders act flawless while weaponizing others' flaws. But if the tables turned, they'd crumble under the same scrutiny.
This is why I'm a little hopeful that this purity purge may end, because it's starting to eat its own. ESPN reporter Rachel Nichols was a feminist success story, but when she complained in a private telephone call about ESPN's crappy long-time record on diversity, and expressed her view that she felt like she was being sacrificed by the network so they could make up for that crappy long-time record on diversity. The call was leaked.
It's only a matter of time before the mob turns on itself. Everyone has said something foolish or held a wild opinion in their youth. It's human nature. Growth means evolving, not being shamed for past mistakes. But the cancel crowd thrives on outrage, pretending they've never slipped up. The irony? Shine that same spotlight on them, and they'd fall apart. Dig into anyone's history, and you'll find something to condemn. This culture devours its own because demanding perfection leaves no one standing.
And shouldn't have to love getting fired, even if it does achieve more equity. This was a private call. Does private mean anything anymore? Apparently not. Even sadder, this love of snitching seems to be one of the few areas that is now truly bipartisan. Snitch Nation isn't about what side you're on. It's about this mindset where everyone is an amateur secret policeman and tattling.
Betrayal is now a badge of honor. A former ESPN presenter's private phone call, never meant for public ears, was leaked and weaponized for clicks and clout. In this era of digital snitching, privacy is dead, replaced by a relentless hunt for the next scandal. These betrayers don't seek justice. They crave exposure, humiliation, and the thrill of destruction. If a private moment can spark a public firestorm, no one is safe. He's sounding the alarm on this chilling reality, where surveillance masquerades as accountability.
The internet thinks going through someone's old MySpace account makes them part of the resistance. It doesn't. It makes you a
There's no courage in snitching from behind a screen. The far left thinks exposing old tweets or private remarks is a noble fight, but it's just digital cruelty dressed as virtue. He calls them out as they are: insecure, bitter people who feel powerful only by tearing others down. Instead of creating something worthwhile, they obsess over old posts, hunting for outrage. His message cuts deep. If your only legacy is ruining reputations, you're not a hero. You're a coward hiding behind a keyboard.
Republicans lately, besides sponsoring that new reality show, Texas Zygote Hunters, have been encouraging college students to whip out their phones to record and report professors who espouse leftist ideas. As always, these snowflakes fall just as hard on the right as they do on the left.
Fairness doesn't pick sides. This isn't about left or right. It's about the right to speak without fear of eternal punishment. America should champion free expression, not weaponize words. No one, regardless of their beliefs, should lose their livelihood over a decade-old comment. People grow, views change, and the past shouldn't define the present. Punishing old speech kills liberty itself. If anyone, on any side, plays this petty moral game, they deserve the same backlash, because censorship has no place here.
Safe spaces, not for professors. At least not any who might want to stretch young minds to think differently and try on new ideas. Yeah, try that at your peril. Same with comedy clubs, where ever since the iPhone, comics have been complaining about snitches in the audience who'll rat them out for crossing the line, which is practically the job description of a
Comedy's under attack, and it's heartbreaking. The far left polices every joke, every offhand remark, hunting for anything that doesn't fit their ever-shifting rules. Say something they don't like, and you're done. Your words are clipped, stripped of context, and blasted online for shaming. Even comics like Kevin Hart, who apologized for old jokes, aren't spared. Comedy, once a haven for shared laughter, is now a battlefield. The result? Comedians too scared to be funny, and a world losing its joy.
Joking constantly. Even some people who aren't comics do that. And if you're lucky enough in life to be around people like that, I'm sure you know, they can't all be gems. Sometimes you get the twisties, and the joke doesn't land just right. Exposing that doesn't make you noble.
He delivers a raw truth. True courage lies in protecting people, not digging up old tweets for a hollow moral win. There's a stark difference between safeguarding others and persecuting them. The cancel mob pretends they're battling evil, but they're just hunting flawed humans. He calls their actions shameful, petty, and un-American, unafraid to expose their hypocrisy. Think of whistleblowers like Edward Snowden, real bravery, not this vindictive snitching.
Of Edward Snowden, enduring exile in Russia so he could expose unlawful government snooping. Noble. Colonel Alexander Vindman, exposing the Ukraine fiasco. Noble. That's not you taking down the host of the Ice Capades. You're a loser with Wi-Fi and all the time in the world to listen to long-forgotten podcasts. You're not a journalist. You're just a creepy little rat. Go to Texas and catch a runaway.
This culture of digital betrayal, selective fury, and moral policing is tearing society apart. What began as a push for accountability has become a vicious game of shaming, punishing people not for crimes but for being human. Everyone said something regrettable, but the internet never forgets, and the mob never forgives. His fight against wokeism isn't about excusing bad actions. It's about defending reason, nuance, and free speech. He's saying what others fear. Comedy, expression, even private thoughts are under attack by those pretending to be virtuous. If this continues, no one passes the purity test, and outrage will consume everyone, friend or foe. That's where we end today's video. If this resonated, smash the like button, subscribe, and share with friends to fight cancel culture together. Thanks for watching. See you next time.